Mayong adlaw! Kamusta? This is Ben from Philippines Extremes, coming to you in Lapu-Lapu at Smokin' Abbey Cafe. Today I'm going to be talking about some things that come up frequently that a lot of vloggers don't really talk about, but I have a different take on it. So you'll hear everybody talking super duper positive about the Philippines, and you don't really hear the negative sides of it. And there's a channel out there that's really focusing on the negative sides of the Philippines, and I've watched a few of their videos, and quite frankly, I just have a completely different take and approach to life. So for me, yes, I mean, like I've said before and will continue to say, your attitude creates your result. And, you know, the Philippines is going to be the same as anywhere that you live, be it in America, be it in France, be it on Jupiter, anywhere you go. It's just all about you and how you handle the things that you're presented with. Some of the things that you will not like about the Philippines and may have a problem with is probably going to be the garbage. There's not really a good system here for their refuse. So what you will find is a lot of people will burn it. And there's really not a big solution to that. And a lot of foreigners, Westerners, frown upon it. And they have struggle and take issue with it. Now, you know, in America, America especially, we've been trained, you know, to not litter and to contain our waste in a controlled way. But what people fail to remember, it's like they have selective memory or something. If you grew up in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and early 80s, there was a huge push to hi guys, there's a huge push to and an advertising campaign to educate people against doing that, and then the government had to have some kind of alternative way for people to get rid of things. But I remember, you know, the old Native American in the commercials with the tear in his eye, you know, showing, you know, like pristine scenes and then garbage everywhere. We had to go through that process. I remember when I was a kid, we'd be riding in our station wagon in the mountains and we'd just chuck our garbage right out the window. That was pretty standard, but it took a process. So you have to remember that the Philippines is a developing country, and it's not going to be as advanced in those areas. The education isn't there, and you cannot slight them for not having that. Then if you do, then slight yourself from when you were a child, because quite frankly, we were the same. So that's one thing that people need to keep in their minds and stop being so judgmental. Now, then the other thing that people complain about is going to be the animals, the stray dogs. And look here, I'm sitting at Smokin' Abbey's Cafe, and what do we have right here? Stray dogs. And they're just sitting here hanging out, kind of begging for food. And that is going to be prevalent. You're going to see that everywhere. And vloggers who act like, you know, nobody's showing that side of the Philippines, you know, we talk about it. The thing is we don't focus upon it. Every country has its pros and its cons, right? United States political situation is overwhelming. It's one side or the other, and you've got really, really woke people, and then you've got the people who aren't. And by woke, I mean negative. Like they're too progressive. And then you've got the other side of the coin. It's 50-50. And those people are at each other's throats. So, and then, in the States, you've got, I'm from the Northwest. So the Northwest is going through nightmarish kind of unfurling here with their tent cities and Portland, Oregon, and Oregon decriminalizing drugs. And you've got drug addicts galore and a plethora of homeless camps and crime centric areas where you don't even want to go to those areas because literally it's not safe. So, and I know that it's no different throughout the country. The country is going through an evolution, a degradation, and so these people that are, thumbing their noses at the Philippines and acting all high and mighty as though their home country doesn't have issues. Sure, they are different issues, but your country has it. And you want to thumb your nose at these things in the Philippines that, don't happen in the States. Well, what about the things that do happen in the States that don't happen here? It's a good trade. Like I always say, the Philippines is a good trade for all of those things that are really, in my opinion, worse. And like I say, your attitude is going to yield the results that you get. I heard some guy on a vlog the other day talking about touchy-feely Filipinos and people asking him what were in his bags and all this crap. Okay, so maybe you're a 2-week guy and you're only here for a couple of weeks, and that might happen to you if you're just toting around all your luggage and crap. But if you are settled and not packing around everything you got, that will never happen. And quite frankly, that's never happened to me. People coming up and grabbing my bags and everything. Okay, that will happen to you in the airport. When you walk out of Manila airport, you're going to get these guys that want to carry your luggage for a fee, and they will just come up and start grabbing it off of you. That happened to me when I was in Manila before. But you just say no and you move on, But is that perpetual? Is that going to happen to you, everywhere you go? Certainly not. That will not happen to you everywhere you go. Hey, bro. That'll only happen to you in your transition. But if you're going to be settling here, that's not going to be happening to you on a daily basis. It's just absurd to imply that will, and it won't. Then, as I've talked about before, the staring. I heard a guy, the same guy, in fact, focusing on being stared at. Well, what do you expect? What do you expect? You go to an area where, you're, a half a foot taller than everybody. You're fair-skinned. You have light-colored eyes, for example. Don't you think that that's going to draw attention to you? And who are you to be so offended by it? Sure, if you're coming from a contrasting kind of social structure like the States, where when people stare at you, it's confrontational, then it's going to take some getting used to. But get used to it. Don't judge people for wanting to look at you because you are different. And quite frankly, I'd say 90% of the people that are staring at you, and maybe how it is if you're staring at somebody, if you're looking at somebody, or even like your spouse or a friend or something, and you're thinking about something, and the look on your face doesn't really reflect what you're thinking, right? Maybe if you are staring at somebody and you have a thought in your mind, you get kind of that perplexed brow and a furrowed brow and whatnot. And then, somebody says, "What's wrong?" And you weren't thinking anything negative. So what I have learned, and this is human nature, if you talk to somebody who's staring at you, say, "Hi, hello," especially here in the Philippines, you say, "Hi, hello, how's it going?" Their whole countenance changes. They brighten up. They smile. There are the occasional ones that will not smile, but the majority of them will be open to you. So, will you be successful in the Philippines? Will you like the Philippines? That's up to you. It's up to you, the traveler, on how you are going to respond to the differences. It's as simple as that. The differences are going to be vast. Why? Because you're in a different country, duh. And not everybody is going to do the same things that you do. They're just not. And if you can't adapt to that crap, then you will be the ones that I see all over the internet on forums talking down and saying all these things, these bad things that happen to them in the Philippines, and all the terrible, terrible things you have to watch out for. It's up to you, you guys. It is up to you. You make or break your experience in the Philippines. It's not rocket science. It's not anything that, the positive vloggers are hiding. We're not hiding it. In fact, we're fully aware of it. And if you really, really watch the videos and you listen to what people are saying, and you don't just watch the first 30 seconds and then click away and then make a comment, then you're going to hear them say these things, but you're also going to hear how they deal with it and how they process those differences. Like me, I'm a long-winded guy. I'm already 11 minutes into this, and I haven't even said half the things that I want to say. And if I wanted to accomplish everything, I would take 10 more minutes to say it. But ultimately, you make or break your experience. It's on your shoulders on how you are going to react to these things. And are there glaring differences? Absolutely there are. But do you want us to focus on it and talk about it? Or do you want to see the good side? Or do you want to evolve? Or do you just want to stay stuck in your own little world where, you're a victim and your experience sucks? That's a personal choice. So my advice to you is to evolve. Be open to it. Realize what you're trading off for the garbage and the dogs and the people staring at you. And when you are in line, somebody cutting in front of you. I've talked about all those things. It's not, we're not hiding those things from potential travelers coming here. We're very upfront about it. However, if you pay attention, it's not like we're, trying to lure you to come here so you can be in a huge culture shock. That's just not what it is. It's not some kind of stealthy deception to get the foreigner to come here so that he can be shocked by all of these differences of, going on a jeepney, and when it gets crowded, people are going to be touching your shoulder and your leg, and when you're standing in line, people might bump into you and whatnot. We're not hiding that from you. These things happen, but it's up to you. This is a different society. It's a different culture, different beliefs. They're engaging with themselves. They don't take offense to touching each other. If you ride on any jeepney or look at jeepneys passing by, they're packed to the gills like sardines in there, and they have to rub shoulders. They just have to. And if you don't like it, then that means, you're a closed-off individual. In America, we've become so disassociated and so disconnected from each other that, if you accidentally walk by someone and your shirt sleeves touch each other, you're apologizing. Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, I still do that. I apologize, and people just kind of look at me like, what? What happened? And they don't think it's a big deal. They don't think anything of it. It's just normal kind of thing here. Think about it. There's 111 million people packed into these islands that don't even encompass, like, the state of Texas. They're all packed into that land mass. And don't you think if you go somewhere, you're kind of gonna probably bump into people? Give me a break, guys. Give me a break. You make or break your experience wherever you go. And whether you want to be evolved or devolve or stay stuck and rooted in your own mode, That's up to you. But it doesn't have to be that way. The Philippines people are open, kind, loving. Are there good people here? Yes. Are there bad people here? Of course. Are there good people where you come from? Yes. Are there bad people where you come from? Yes. If you're hanging out in a city and you're not settled into a neighborhood, are you going to encounter the more hustle and bustle and the people that are up to, no good? Yes, of course. But if you gravitate into your neighborhood and you get settled in, will those things erode? Yes. We're not hiding it from you. We're not some stealthy bloggers that are keeping secrets. It's just common sense. So wake up, smell the burning garbage, hear the barking dogs, and realize that it's a good trade. So guys, thank you for watching. I'm in Lapu Lapu here at Abby's Cafe, or Smoking Abby's Cafe. And it's right outside of Mactan, Gasano Island Mactan Mall, where you get your immigration. I'll be here hanging out, trying to make videos. There's some foreigners that come here occasionally. I'll try to get interviews. But if you're in the area and you want to bump into me or stop by and say hi, this is probably where I can be found. I'd say, every other day, every couple days, I'm here. So everybody, thanks for watching. Remember, it's all up to you in any country, any place that you are. So evolve. Don't have a stick up your butt. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.